Jason Isaacs' 2003 adventure movie, Peter Pan, was a universal flop, but more than 2 decades later, it proves itself to be a fun and decent adaptation of the J.M. Barrie novel. Jason Isaacs began his acting career in 1988, appearing in various television shows, before transitioning into movie roles. He has received worldwide recognition for his movie and television roles as the Soviet general, Georgy Zhukov in The Death of Stalin, 2017, criminal Timothy Ratliff in Season 3 of The White Lotus, 2025, and the villainous Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter series, considered one of Isaacs' best performances. In 2003, Isaacs starred in P.J. Hogan's live-action adaptation of Peter Pan, in the dual roles of Captain Hook and George Darling. Peter Pan received generally positive reviews but was a box office bomb, only making back $122 million worldwide of its $130 budget. In recent years, Isaacs has reflected on his experience filming Peter Pan, stating that all of us involved were toxic in the movie industry. While it wasn't financially successful, more than 20 years after its release, Peter Pan proved itself to be a strong and entertaining movie. 2003's Peter Pan is a solid, fun adventure movie. The movie was directed by P.J. Hogan. Adapted from the 1911 novel Peter and Wendy, Peter Pan follows a young girl, Wendy Darling, who regularly tells stories to her younger brothers about Peter Pan, a boy who refuses to grow up and lives on the magical island of Neverland, with his gang of lost boys. One night, Peter Pan arrives at Wendy's bedroom window in London and invites her and her brothers to travel to Neverland with him to escape having to grow up. Upon arrival, the group faces a variety of adventures, including multiple showdowns with the villainous Captain Hook and his crew of pirates. Peter Pan was marketed as a fun adventure movie and was praised by critics for the performances of Jeremy Sumpter and Rachel Hurdwood as Peter and Wendy, respectively, its faithfulness to the original novel, and its depiction of Neverland through its visual effects. It also received praise for its depictions of magic and piracy and for exploring the themes of adolescence and romance, not previously seen in other Peter Pan movies. The perfect blend of fantasy and adventure, 2003's Peter Pan is a solid, underrated movie that is still enjoyable more than 20 years later. Jason Isaacs is particularly good as Captain Hook and Mr. Darling. The roles perfectly showcase his skills at portraying villains. Jason Isaacs' Captain Hook, Peter Pan 2003. One of the elements of Peter Pan that received a large amount of praise was Jason Isaacs' dual performances as both George Darling and Captain Hook. Isaacs took his performance of Captain Hook very seriously, which is one of the reasons why the character worked so well. For his role as George Darling, Isaacs portrayed the children's father as a shy man, determined to provide for his family. Isaacs shined in both roles. Isaacs' performances as both Captain Hook and George Darling perfectly showcased his natural ability to act in villainous roles. Isaacs depicts Hook, in particular, as a courteous gentleman who uses his charm to get people on his side, but can turn into a vicious enemy at any time, which is what audiences appreciate about the character. While his career may have slowed for a while after Peter Pan, the roles Isaacs portrayed allowed him to further explore his skills as a villain, which later helped him land further acclaimed roles in movies and television as an Evildor.